Summoning all the strength in his muscles, he embarks on a precarious journey to relieve himself, adding to the awkwardness. Forcing the man to skillfully maneuver his peach-shaped posterior into the tight space, the man faces the pressing need for release, creating an unforgettable aroma in the confined space. Nearby passengers resort to a frenzied assault on the windows, while a fellow traveler, overwhelmed by the scent, hastily dials family members to provide last-minute instructions. As the stench intensifies within the bus, prompting uncontrollable fits of anger from some, while others teeter on the brink of oxygen deprivation and even fainting. Despite the man's overwhelming guilt, a sense of relief washes over him. In a drastic measure to avoid casualties, the driver instructs all passengers to evacuate. Fast forward a decade, the fire department rushes to the scene, the man trapped in the restroom, at the mercy of a team of burly firefighters who, with ropes tied to his arms, finally extricate him from the cramped quarters. A man lets out a fart. A burst of blue gas instantly fills the air. This triggers a sense of jealousy in the guy in green, who confidently strides to the center of the street, lifts his pant leg, and performs a swift spin. The spectacle inspires the guy in red, who takes a running start, leaps into the air, executes a perfect 180-degree spin, and lands flawlessly. This leaves the original farter seething with resentment. Suddenly, a distant rumble is heard, and a fart king arrives soaring through the air. Undeterred, the guy pulls out a lighter from his pocket. Despite desperate attempts to stop him, he calmly places the lighter against his posterior. In the next second, he propels into the air, crashes into a wall, lands heavily, much to the shock of onlookers. As they attend the funeral, a thick yellow smoke unexpectedly billows from beneath the gravestone. This lady is on a plane, and out of nowhere, she's hit with the urge to use the restroom. But the airplane hits some turbulence, and the lavatories are temporarily off limits. But she's reached the point of no return. The person next to her suggests deep breaths and a short distraction, trying to shift her focus. But just as she's about to give it a shot, the plane starts bouncing around like a toddler on a trampoline. A girl with pink hair tells her to think of anything else, to redirect her attention elsewhere. But at this point, the poor girl's got goosebumps crawling up her arms and down her spine, and she's at her wit's end. She jumps up, ready to make a mad dash for the restroom, but in the blink of an eye, a flight attendant swoops in and presses her back into her seat. Says the flight attendant, desperately trying to divert her attention. The miss tries to ease her discomfort by burying herself in a book. And then, just as you think the story might be settling down, the flight attendant realizes it's a dire situation, lifts her like a superhero, and carry her to the restroom. And then, in the next instant, a gecko sinks its teeth into the man's finger. In the blink of an eye, the man keels over in a comically dramatic faint. Upon waking up, he discovers his finger has transformed into a tube of glue. Just as he's scratching his head in confusion, a loud crash echoes from outside. The man's mother has shattered their precious ancestral plate. Thinking on his feet, our man takes advantage of his newfound superpower. He smears the glue from his mutant finger directly onto the cracked plate. Presto, in the next second. With this unexpected super ability, our man becomes the village's adored superhero, heroically mending everything in sight. However, one day, the man in a sticky situation when his glue supply unexpectedly runs dry. Utterly perplexed, he stands there clueless. Just then, a mysterious figure approaches, claiming they've concocted an even stickier glue that's unlimited in supply. Can you guess what product this ad is all about? The little boy has a sneaking suspicion that his mom might be a monster. Well, for starters, she wears a scarf around her neck 24/7, as if there's some terrifying secret lurking beneath. When the young lad finally musters up the courage to ask, "Mom, why the eternal scarf fashion show?" his mom is quick to come up with a cover story. "Oh, just a little scar on the neck." Our young detective, not convinced, decides to play the strip off my clothes and reveal secrets card. Lo and behold, he unveils 4 cups growing on his back and, puzzled, asks, "Mom, why the cup garden?" With a tear in her eye, Mom removes the scarf, exposing her neck's scarred history, and then, she casually pops off her head, revealing her true monster self. Mom turns out to be a hospitable monster, filling those cups on her son's back for a family beverage party. Guess what ad this is? This school's got every girl flaunting baby bumps, and guess what? It comes with perks. From free fried chicken to folks eagerly offering to lift heavy things. Even sneaking snacks in class goes unnoticed. One day, a student secretly scores a mysterious item at the back gate. By the afternoon, poof, the girl's baby bump disappears. The principal, well, he's not thrilled. The girl explains it's all for a killer figure and stylish outfits. Her words hit home, leading many to make drastic changes, eventually leading to expulsions. Undeterred, the girl sneaks off to buy the mysterious item, chugs it in the restroom, and voila, her baby bump is history. Can you guess what this ad's selling? Meet the woman who wouldn't close her eyes, not even if the Sandman himself begged. She's tackling the challenge of a lifetime. Stay awake for a whopping 24 hours and you're in for a sweet $1 million treat. This whole saga is broadcast globally. The action kicks off with an onion chopping extravaganza in the kitchen. Tears might flow, but her eyelids? Nah, they're sealed shut like Fort Knox. Then, the daring diva takes on a boiling pot steam like it's a day at the spa. No blinking, just sizzle. The director's crew throws her into the urban jungle, where chaos is their middle name. There's a dog, a flying soccer ball, and a sneeze-inducing pepper powder plot twist. A flutter of an eyelid later, and the audience's collective hearts skip a beat. Will she? Won't she? The suspense is thicker than a sleep-deprived coffee. Seated on the sofa, the woman awaits her victory interview, casually reaching for a piece of chocolate. So, can you figure out what wacky product they're sneakily peddling in this roller coaster ride of an ad? Meet the quirky keyboard community, a bunch of petite people whose daily job is to squat and stand up. They've been residing in the shadowy depths of the keyboard since their tiny beginnings. Whenever their owner types, these little fellas comically mimic the squat and stand routine. However, the right-click button, being the troublemaker, gets punished with treadmill duty as the owner's typing speed cranks up. Many of the keyboard residents are running low on energy, leaving their comrades to cheer them on with drum rolls, trumpet blasts, and enthusiastic cheers. Yet, some of the seldom pressed keys are living the good life. Lounging in the sun, life in the numpad area is pure leisure. They snooze all day long, but for those less frequented keys, an unexpected key press is like a roller coaster ride. And then, the owner's girlfriend makes her entrance. Unfortunately, this time, the tab key collapses prematurely, earning the sympathy of all its companions. But in a miraculous turn of events, the tab key makes a heroic comeback, ready to face the world with its fellow keys. Just when you think it's all over, in the very next moment. The dude with the deadpan expression has been stuck with a perpetual grin. His second cervical vertebra is moonlighting as a stand-up comedian. Tomorrow is the big day, his mother-in-law's funeral. Desperate to wipe that goofy grin off his face, he tries everything from face slapping to jaw contortions, all in vain. As he stumbles out of the hospital, guess who he bumps into? None other than his wife, who's not impressed with his "I just won the lottery" expression. In a panic to salvage his marriage, he hails a cab and with a forced smile, tells the driver to chase after his wife. But here's the kicker. The cabbie takes one look at his awkward antics and thinks he's dealing with a certified weirdo, promptly kicking him to the curb. Determined to prove he's not the joker he appears to be, he shows up at the mother-in-law's funeral wearing a mask. Just when he thinks he's in the clear, he bumps into his father-in-law on the way out. Trying to explain himself? Good luck with that. The man who takes morning laziness to a whole new level. He rises from his slumber, brushes his teeth with closed eyes, and slips into his pants without lifting a finger. Descending the stairs is a mere slide, an act he seems to relish. It takes a neighbor's visit to pry him out. Walking? That's not in his repertoire. Instead, he rolls his way through life, grassy lawns included. He rolls to the subway station, rolls onto the train, and upon arrival, he rolls right off. Should fatigue strike, fear not, a beverage appears, providing an energy boost. Eventually, he reaches his workplace after an epic journey, though he remains in the realm of dreams. To maintain his slumber, he manages to concoct a cup of coffee using only his feet. Even while working, his eyes remain sealed, yet a few keystrokes earn his company a cool $2 million. Meetings are a breeze, a mere gesture of his dainty hand, and problems vanish into thin air. Post-work, he rolls into a bar where a mere casual shake or two yields a legion of adoring fans. Is this the envy-inducing life you've been yearning for?